Welcome back to State and Local Government and Politics. My name is Jim Tuite, and I'm an Associate Professor of Political Science at Central Virginia Community College. In Module 12, we'll discuss Traditional and Visible Services, Part 1, Introduction. This module covers four of the largest and most visible in terms of budget allocation services that are provided by the state and local government: criminal justice, education, transportation, and emergency management. By visible, we mean those public services encountered frequently, or services we are likely to be aware of on a continual basis. The criminal justice system in each state includes state and local police, prosecutors, crime labs, prisons and jails, various corrections programs such as work release and community service, state and local probation and parole officers, and numerous other types of uniformed and plainclothes personnel. The state, county, and municipal court systems are also part of the criminal justice system and were covered in Module 8. The education system, which is often the largest single expenditure of the state and local level of government, includes K through 12 public schools and school districts, Head Start programs, disability and special education programs, community colleges, and public universities. In addition, each state typically has a Department of Education or similar agency that administers education policy and monitors implementation for compliance with national and state school standards. Another service that many citizens take largely for granted, but which is an integral part of everyday life for everyone, is the transportation system. Depending on location, this could include mass transit, for example, buses, light rail trains, and subways, airports, park and ride lots, streets and alleyways, freeways and turnpikes, car and passenger ferries, waterways, port facilities and marinas, streetlights, bike and walking paths, and bridges and overpasses. State and local governments are also involved in the regulation of private transportation services, such as bus lines, taxis, rental vehicles, trucking, and the like. As with public education, state governments typically have departments of transportation established to coordinate and monitor commercial and common transport and travel activities and services. Services and programs concerning emergency management and homeland security have become much more visible after the terrorist events of September 11, 2001, in the wake of natural disasters such as Hurricanes Katrina and Rita in 2005, and since the arousal of international health concerns over matters such as COVID-19, mad cow disease, and possible avian and swine flu pandemics. Often acting in cooperation with the federal government, state and local governments have been developing plans, procedures, and programs to ensure public safety and assistance the next time a major disaster takes place. The state and local public health authorities, the state and local fire and emergency medical technicians, and local law enforcement, often the county sheriff, are all involved in the identification of hazards and vulnerabilities and planning for prevention, mitigation, response, and recovery associated with either man-made or natural disasters requiring emergency services. With the rising cost of delivering these services and with additional burdensome unfunded mandates, state and local officials must now consider new approaches to service delivery and new ways of finding adequate funding. An unfunded mandate is a requirement imposed by Congress on state or local governments with no funding to pay for it. In Part 2 of Module 12 on Traditional and Visible Services, we'll discuss the criminal justice system.